Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This is your boy AC, LA Sports Live, with a special early morning live stream edition of LA Sports Live. Um, Gonna talk about a few things. Um, we're gonna wrap up this Coach Hurley thing a little bit, and then we'll talk about this new thing that's going around the national media, and some people are jumping on that train that the Lakers are broke. Uh, and the brokest ownership in the league, and they can't compete with people. Let me wrap up the Coach Hurley thing real quick. Um, it's been 2 days. I've had a little bit of time to think about it, sleep on it, and I think they made a fair offer to Coach Hurley. Um, I know Monday I said, "Oh man, they're being cheap and penny pinching or whatever," but if you're going to make a guy who's never coached one NBA game, um, the fourth, fifth, sixth highest paid player, coach in the league, that's a fair offer. The problem with that offer is, you know, most people, mostly any other coach in that situation besides Coach Hurley, would have took that deal, but his situation is a little bit different because he's already got a good thing going. So that was to me a fair offer. It just wasn't a good enough offer to get somebody to transplant across country who's already got money, who's already achieved a certain level of success. Um, it just wasn't enough to get him. The Lakers should have did the due diligence a little bit better, um, and should have known what kind of money it would have taken to get him. That's all I'm saying is they should have done their due diligence a little bit better and to know how much money it would have taken to get him if indeed they were serious about it. Because let's be honest, we don't really know how serious either side was. We don't know how serious Coach Hurley was, and we don't really know how serious the Lakers were about acquiring him because they do shit for effect. They do stuff to see uh, because they're always worried about the optics or stuff. And that and if you've been following this Coach Hurley thing, that guy Fanta out of uh Connecticut, who works for Fox Sports, who follows Connecticut and follows college basketball. He was the loudest guy talking about Coach Hurley, saying that he think he's gonna go, and then he said that the offer was $100 million. I believe Coach Hurley's group told this guy to say that because that's how much money they wanted. That's what I think. I don't think that damn sure didn't get leaked by the Lakers. Ain't shit get leaked by the Lakers until they decide to officially talk to him. So that $100 million shit definitely came from Hurley's side. That's my opinion. But be that as it may, like I said, I just firmly believe you don't really know how serious either side was. You don't know if Coach Hurley was just playing the Lakers to get more money out of UConn. And sometimes with the Lakers, you don't know if they were serious, really serious, just because they just want to make it look like they were. Anyway, that's that on that. Now this thing that's going around in the national media, and that's how things, this is how things go in the national media. They'll come up with now. Everybody wants to say they generated a narrative. So the narrative now is that the Lakers are broke and they're cheap. The owner has the least net worth in the whole NBA. This is the quote unquote narrative now that they're cheap, um, they don't have money, and Jeannie Buss is on food stamps. First, everybody is entitled to opinion, and don't nobody go run back and run to Kareem and say I'm talking about him because I ain't talking about him. I've been knowing Kareem. We've been knowing Kareem for years, and if either one if we disagree with each other, whatever, we'll tell each other. We started off arguing. A lot of people don't know that when we met, we started off arguing. Then we became good friends. I even went out there and kicked it with him. Anyway, um, some of y'all who think you know a lot about the Lakers don't know nothing about the Lakers, and I'm gonna explain it to you. And I'm gonna explain to you why actually the Lakers have um like the third or fourth richest ownership group in the fucking league. Not the poorest, but the Lakers have like the third or fourth richest ownership group in the league. How many people knew that? The Lakers have like the third or fourth richest ownership group in the league. The Lakers ownership group is worth more than the guys in Phoenix. I repeat, the Laker ownership group is worth more than the guy in Phoenix. The guy who they think is who's just throwing money around like it ain't nothing. The Laker ownership group is worth way more than him. When people talk about net worth and how much people are worth and how much all this, y'all ain't been doing your homework. Do you guys know? For the guys who think they know the ins and outs about the Lakers, the owners and the ownership group, do you know who Ed Roski Jr. is? Do you know who Mark Walter is? Do you know who Ty Bowley is? Do you know who Dr. Patrick Chung Shang is? Those are Laker owners. They're part of the Lakers ownership group. I repeat, do you know who Ed Roski Jr. is? Do you know who Mark Walter is? Do you know who Ty Bowley is? Do you know who Dr. Patrick Chung Shang is? If you don't, Google them. Very sick. Most of these guys are in real estate, but very successful businessmen, and they've been part of the Laker ownership for a long time. Even when Dottie, even back to when Dr. Jerry Buss was running the whole thing before Jeannie even came in, he had most of these guys on the team as part owners. Why? Because the motherfuckers are rich. Each one of those guys is worth more than Matt Ishbia, who owns the Suns by themselves. They each have more. They each have more money than the guy who owns his son to themselves. Now, what I will say about the Lakers ownership group is this: compared to Matt Ishbia and compared to Steve Ballmer, these guys are what you call old money. Old money. They made their money in more traditional ways. Um, Stock market, hedge funds, and real estate. This is how these guys made their money. But when we talk about Matt Ishbia, and then we talk about the Clippers owner Steve Ballmer, these guys they're what you call new money, meaning they made their money within the last 30 years. They made it fast, a little bit different, fast. When you talk about the different internet companies and all the kind of Microsoft and all that shit, that's a new thing within the last 30, 35 years. It's a difference. And see, it's a difference between how old money moves and the difference between new money moves. And how the Lakers operate, they hope they operate like they're owned by old money, shrewd. They'll spend money every time LeBron's extension comes up. Every time LeBron Anthony Davis extension come up, they get a max. Period. No questions asked. Is because people who think like the Lakers think, yeah, they'll spend money on a sure thing. On a sure thing, they have no problem spending money. But if it's something that they're not quite sure about or they kind of iffy on, they'll be measured. They'll be measured in their spending. It's just now, like I said, I'm just pointing out the difference. I'm just pointing out the difference. Now, I wouldn't have a problem with Jeannie stepping down and moving to the side and letting the younger brothers take over. I think it's time for that. But I just want to kind of let you guys know and kind of have you understand how and why they operate the way they do. Jeannie's been around, she's been calling the shots for the last a little over a decade, but Jeannie's been around for fucking damn near 40 years. So her mindset is going to be different than a lot of these newer owners coming in the league. Her mindset is going to be different. But to say they don't have money or they're scared to spend or they're scared to spend it, or to say they're scared to spend it, it's not accurate. And I wouldn't say that, you got to watch what you say about how people spend their money, man. We don't know the whole deal. Have any of you guys been to the Lakers facility? How you been to the Lakers facility? It's one of the best in the league. I think they would love to get a new arena, but Staples Center is too iconic. It's in downtown LA. The real estate's worth more than the actual building. They'll just keep upgrading it. But they can't just go to Inglewood and build a new one like Balmer did because they don't want to leave LA. Like I said, man, some guys, man, y'all need to do a little deeper dive into it, do a little bit more research on exactly who who the owners are, how they made their money, how they operate, how they go way back with Dr. Jerry Buss. I hear people bringing up Jerry Buss' name saying he wouldn't do this and he wouldn't do that. Who the fuck do you think brought these guys in? Huh? Who do you think brought these guys in to be part owner of the Lakers? And why do you think he brought them in? I'm not even going to answer the question, man. You guys got to be smart enough to figure it out. But, people who've had money, who've got money, been making money for decades. All I'm saying is they operate different than these guys who just got money over the last 20, 30 years. The Lakers continue to operate like old money. I don't like it. It makes them look bad because they're not free willy nilly spending like some other people. But hey, people spend a lot of money doesn't exactly equate to championships. We go to another sport. Look at the Dodger owner group. There's been multiple ownership groups. How many championships have they won since since the O'Malley family sold the Dodgers? How many championships have they won? And the Dodgers have been owned by multiple billionaires since the O'Malley team, the O'Malley family sold them. They've been owned by multiple billionaires. How many championships they won? One, one. Making Hurley, a guy who's never coached one game in the NBA, making him the fifth or sixth highest paid coach when all the other guys have won at least one championship or multiple championships, is not really lowballing. It's lowballing to get him because he's already got a good thing. He's already got a good thing going, and he's not, you know, hard up to make a change. So I would disagree. All right, bro. We could agree to disagree. But let me tell you this, Greg Brown. You think the Lakers are cheap? Like I said, every time LeBron's extension come up, he gets a max. Every time AD's extension comes up with the max. Did Ballmer give Kawhi a max? Go look it up. Kawhi had to take less than the max this time, and this is why PG hasn't signed his contract because they're trying to get him to take less than the max. Now, the only ones that I know who spend money and it's just ridiculous. We haven't even talked about them. Is the Warriors ownership group? They just got a shitload of money. The group, not the one guy that they put up there and says the owner. The group. They got a shitload of money. And this is why they're able to spend all that money on all them salaries and all that luxury tax, is because the group doesn't mind spending it. Well, that's what I said, Greg Brown. I don't, unless you're directly involved in the negotiations, we really don't know how serious the Lakers were, and we really don't know how serious Coach Hurley was, because the more I look at it is he you know you know how it is back in the day, man. I'm married, but you know how it is, man. You get it's a broad that you kind of half-ass interested in, and you just play around with them or whatever. Man, Coach Hurley was playing around with the Lakers, man. He didn't really want the Lakers, bro. He didn't really want the Lakers. He wanted to make it look like he wanted the Lakers, and I think he wanted to make it look like he wanted the Lakers just to get more money out of UConn. That's what I think. Because, like I said earlier, um, what about Ty Lue or Caruso? Caruso, okay, you can't mention Caruso without THT. You cannot mention Caruso without mentioning THT. It was going to be one or the other. The Lakers, they betted on THT, a clutch sports guy, and paid him the $10 million a year. And they let Caruso go. They offered him a contract, but they let him go because they didn't want. They felt like paying damn near triple salary on luxury tax to a guy who was a one-dimensional role player. They didn't feel like it made sense, and they decided to bet on the guy who was a young player, a quote unquote phenom of sorts, who was a clutch sports client. They decided to who could do more things, including score. Alex Caruso at that point was just a one-dimensional player. When it was time for his contract up to come up, Alex Caruso was pretty much a one-dimensional player, and he went to the Bulls. He got better, and now he's a master at something, which is defensive. Now he's one of the best defensive players in the league, but he wasn't exactly that when he was with the Lakers, man. So it's a different situation. Now Ty Lue, I don't even think I don't even think the issue was with the money with Ty Lue. Ty Lue is like, I'm a championship coach. I'm picking my own fucking staff. You don't pick my fucking staff. What the fuck? I agree. And but here's the thing is, I agree. Um, but I just come to the realization that ain't gonna change until you get younger blood in there. Because the way the Lakers are operating, yeah, they operating like they own and ran by two old ladies, Jeannie Buss and Linda Rambis. This is that's how it feels to me, how they operate. I agree, but I just want to kind of squash the notion that the team is broken, they don't have money, and that they don't spend money, because that's ridiculous. Just LeBron has hundreds of millions of reasons why the Lakers are not cheap, and so does AD, and so does Danny Green. Got a lot of money. Dennis Schroeder got some money. KCP got some money out of the Lakers recently. So people saying that that's not right. Just say you don't like how they you just say that you don't like how they run their business so shrewd, and how they just don't spend wildly like some other fucking teams. I mean, look, check this out. The guy who owns the fucking this is crazy, and ain't nobody calling them cheap. The guy who owns the fucking Denver Nuggets is one of the richest. He owns, I think, the Broncos too. This guy is super rich, but he didn't allow them to keep their team together from last year, which is why they lost this. This is why he didn't want them to keep their team together from last year, which is why they lost this year. Because he wanted to be cheap, didn't want to pay some of their good bench players, and say, "Oh, we'll just promote the younger players, and that'll make do." And what happened? What happened? Nobody's calling him cheap. Nobody's calling him cheap. The Bucks. Anyway, their owner, he ain't rich like that. But anyway, he's feeling the pinch too. He's feeling the pinch too. When you win a championship team, you gotta spend the money to keep the team together. You can't penny pinch and get rid of key parts here and there and expect to win. But anyway, and the Lakers know that, although they fucked up in 2021, but hey, who knows what was really behind that. But anyway, I'm just, I understand that, bro. I understand. I think I understand that better than you. But anyway, I was just making a point. I hope I educated a few people. Before this stream started, I know there's a lot of people who didn't know who Ed Roski Jr. was, who didn't know who Mark Walter was, nor did they know their net worth, nor did they know that they were part owners of the Lakers. That was the whole point, um, of basically the whole point of the bigger point of the stream. The whole Coach Hurley thing was an anomaly. It came out of nowhere. It was going to be a long shot anyway. And I tell you what, if the Lakers had given Coach Hurley 90 to $100 million, these same people who are saying that the Lakers don't have the money to compete, they're fucking cheap and all that shit. If they had given Coach Hurley 90 to $100 million, they would be saying, what the fuck are the Lakers doing? Giving some fucking college coach who's gonna coach LeBron and coach AD. What are they doing giving this guy $90 million, $100 million, a fully guaranteed contract? There's no, it's a college coach has never worked before. The Lakers are fucking stupid. They're desperate, and it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. That's what they would have said if they would have gave that guy what he really wanted. Guarantee you, guarantee you. And you know what I say? That point right there makes a whole lot of sense because they always going to have some shit to say. They always going to have some shit to say. But anyway, hope you guys learned a little bit. Some of you, and now you know a little bit more about Lakers than you knew before and their ownership group before the stream started. Like I said in the beginning, they're actually the third or fourth largest or most richest ownership group in the league, and it's not just Jeannie Buss and her siblings. They got other ownership people in the group that are worth billions and billions and billions of dollars each, each. And they've been with the team for decades. And they were brought in by who? Dr. Jerry Buss many, many years ago. Anyway, go back and Google anything that I say, you'll find it. Go back and Google anything I say, you'll find it. It's not cap. Anyway, this is your boy AC LA Sports Live. I will rap with y'all later.